back to another Mental Health Monday. Okay, today's video is one I would not have been able to do 2 weeks ago. Real talk. You might recall from the first mental health video I did on my channel, I did a video about 10 personal mental health confessions. And two of my confessions, one was that I bite my tongue, which I think I might have mentioned my mother theorized was something that happened because of some antipsychotic drugs I had taken when I was first diagnosed with type 1 bipolar disorder. The other thing I talked about was rocking and hitting my head as another coping mechanism that I use, I guess, for anxiety. So what you guys need to know is I've found out some information about me chewing my tongue in the last couple weeks, and it's something that I'm going to have to talk to my doctor about, and it is, it's not like serious, but it is a condition. So right after I'd made that video, 10 personal confessions about myself, I had to go get an oil change, and while I was in the waiting area of the oil change, they were playing, you know, some soap opera on the television, and a commercial came on, and the commercial was like, do you chew your tongue? And I'm like, I do. Do you rock uncontrollably? I do. Do you have hand and leg twitches? I do. Have you ever taken antipsychotic drugs? Me again, me. And it was like, you might have TD. Go online to talkabouttd.com and find out all about TD. You may have to talk to your doctor about it. And it was basically like, if you were someone who suffered from schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression, and have been on an antipsychotic drug, you might have developed this condition called TD. And I'm like, getting my oil changed, light bulbs going off, I'm like, I have TD, and it's not touchdown, guys. It's not good like a touchdown. So I'm gonna tell you what it is based on what I found online. I did go to talkabouttd.com, and I have my laptop up if it looks like, why are you looking down, Gab? Is there a ghost talking to you? No, it's just my computer. So what TD is, it's tardive dyskinesia. TD means having movements that you can't control. It's a real condition that affects at least 500,000 people in the United States. Hi, I'm one of them. Its uncontrollable movements of TD may be disruptive to people's lives due to the symptoms themselves and the impact they have on emotional and social well-being. Do I think that it's disrupting I don't think it's disrupting my life, but last week I was both physically sick and mentally sick, and I had been so anxious that I was chewing my tongue, and it was bleeding like twice. One day I was actually late for the gym, and everyone's like, why are you late? And I'm like, oh, no reason. I had no reason to be late. The real reason was my tongue was bleeding and I couldn't get it to stop before I came to the gym. Boom, confession time. If you were class on Saturday, that's why I was late. Anyway, but is it affecting I don't think it's like really ruining my life. I'm just saying that was one example of it affecting my life. I'm gonna keep reading what the website says. It says, if you think you may have TD, or you have been recently diagnosed, it's important to know that you're not alone. Support is available for people living with the condition, and there are many ways to be proactive about your care. Now, I have gone on to read that like they can give you medicine for it, but here's where I'm gonna take a time out and talk about medicine. See, this is my problem with psychiatrists using us, the patients, as their guinea pigs. You know, my psychiatrist, yes, when I first came into her office, I was presenting, I would say somewhat psychotic, but not so much that she needed to put me on this level of drugs that then led to this condition to where I am today. Like, there was no need for that. Like, every other therapist I've talked to is like, whoa, that was really aggressive on her part to give you that many antipsychotics at once. Like, I've known you, like, and these are doctors. They're like, I just can't imagine you ever needed that. But regardless, that's why we all have to be our own advocate. And if you're a kid watching, unfortunately, you can advocate for yourself to a point, but I'm being serious. Like, if you're on a medicine and it's really making you not feel like yourself, and I think this is harder for children because you haven't, you know, fully lived that you're like, I know who I am. You know, you're not as confident maybe in who you are, but I feel like at 8, I knew who Gab was, and I feel like I'd notice if the light was out of my eye. So the best you could probably do to advocate for yourself is to like talk to your mom and dad or your guardian, whoever you live with, and just be like, look, I know I might need some kind of medicine. I'm all about going to therapy, but this drug is making me A, B, C, or D, and Y. It's a negative in your life. If you are above the age of 18, be your own advocate. I have friends who will go on a medicine, and after 3 weeks, if it is making them like not themselves or doing bad behaviors, they'll take themselves off of it, you know, and it isn't convenient to look for a new therapist. Look, I'm in the process of doing it myself. I told you guys to keep me accountable. I promise by next week's video, I will have at least like tried out a therapist. So keep me accountable next week. But yeah, like if you are with a psychiatrist who is just like, every time you go in there and you're unhappy with the medicine they're giving you, and they're like, here, try this, and it just, you might need a new psychiatrist, okay? So I'm just throwing that out in the middle of all of this. I would not even have TD if it weren't for a psychiatrist just willy-nilly giving me 2 heavy-duty antipsychotics at the same time. So I just thought I'd do that PSA. Once again, a reminder to advocate for yourself. And remember that psychiatrists are people too. They make mistakes. I look at all doctors the same way I look at mechanics. My father taught me this, and my father was right. They're all guessing. You know what I mean? Except like with the car, the brain is the computer system. So if you get a old school mechanic who doesn't believe in mental health or computer systems, you know, your car could be ruined. I look at, you know, the engine as the heart of the car. So the point is, they're just all guessing. They're doing their best, but you need to look out for you because they're human. They can have human error. So as far as TD, I want to keep going. So the Tardive Dyskinesia is associated with taking certain kinds of important medications, such as antipsychotics that help control dopamine, a chemical in the brain. Antipsychotics are prescribed to treat conditions like depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder. Also, here's the part that just was like, oh great, this too? Other medications used to treat upset stomach, nausea, and vomiting may also cause TD. So, funny story, but not really funny at all. When I was on these 2 antipsychotics, I started throwing up all the time. And my psychiatrist would not take me off the medicine until I went to a gastroenterologist and proved that the medicine was destroying my stomach. So while I'm on these 2 heavy-duty antipsychotics, they put me on an anti-nausea medicine, and I was on a stomach medicine for my ulcer. So great, just like overload me with every drug that could give me TD, and now I definitely have it. Also, you're more at risk of getting TD if you're 50 years old or older, so that wasn't me. If you're being postmenopausal, not me. If you have substance abuse, not me. But the 4th thing is if you have a mood disorder. Seriously? So like, I have a mood disorder. You give me a drug that when combined with a mood disorder can give you TD. While I'm taking this drug, it makes me sick to my stomach. So you give me more drugs to help my stomach that also give me TD. Everything they did, like it was like it's like going to Kennywood. All arrows pointing to TD for Gab. I'm just kind of blown away. Here's the worst part of it all. I can't even start my treatment till I either get a new psychiatrist or until I see my PCP on June 24th. I know what you're thinking, Gab, with this new development, don't you think you should have tried to see your PCP sooner? Great question, guys. Thanks for asking. Here's the thing. I had called my PCP, I want to say 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I reached out to my best friend. I'm like, Bethany, I think there's something really wrong with my stomach. I don't know if it's my ulcer. She's had her appendix and gallbladder out. I was like, do you think it could be that? This is what's going on. These are my symptoms. I'm really getting scared. You know, I had a grandmother die of colitis. Just things that, you know, make me nervous. And my best friend's like, you need to call your doctor. You need an appointment. So I called my doctor and they're like, okay, the soonest she can see you is 3 months from now. I'm like, my guts might be bleeding. They're like, the soonest she can see you is 3 months from now. So June 24th, hopefully we'll get some answers on TD. I'm not going to take medicine for it though. I am so over these people using me like a guinea pig. No, you gave me the TD with medicine. I don't trust you anymore. Don't trust you. So, but if you are someone who has been on antipsychotics, have a mood disorder, any of the things I mentioned, if you are over the age of 50, if you are postmenopausal, if you have been treated for substance abuse, and you are chewing your tongue, kicking your legs. There's so many symptoms, guys. It's more than even just what you think. It's uncontrollable jaw movement. It's moving your fingers like this, which I do all the time. It's stretching out and flexing your toes all the time, which I do, and I didn't know why I've been doing it. Uncontrollable upper body movement, lower body movement. It's just, if you never did this, you were on antipsychotics, and this started, you need to talk to your doctor. It's called TD. And where I found most of my information is a website called talkabouttd.com. Guys, we're learning something every week. We're learning something every week. I will catch you guys next week for another mental health Monday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. Remember, hashtag May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Sorry, I'm choking on my own phlegm. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a beautiful week. The weather is going to be decent this week. That should help those of us with like seasonal affective disorder. So, and also though, if you're someone who's bipolar, the nice weather does also make us manic. So watch that, work out, do what you gotta do. I'm your pal Gab, and I will see you all next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.